The Harrington Tower Charity Gala glittered with ambition, but inside, a woman held a secret no one expected. Elizabeth entered the ballroom in emerald silk, her auburn hair swept up, eyes knowing the soaring atrium.
Elizabeth, I am surprised you found the address. I hope you didn't have to draw yourself a map.
Jennifer climbed the stage, navy gown pooling, and tapped the microphone with a smug smile.
For those who don't know her, this is my sister Elizabeth. She does a little drawing for some builders, nothing important.
Let her words bounce off. She doesn't know what these walls mean.
The room responded with forced chuckles, then silence. No one looked at Elizabeth.
But we keep her around because she's family. And family shows up.
The emerald silk caught the light like water, but no one noticed. They watched Jennifer.
Smile. Wait. This building knows my name. Soon. They all will.
After the speech, Jennifer glided through the room, collecting compliments like a queen, accepting tribute.
Oh, the venue. I practically handpicked every detail. It's become my signature gala, really. A passion project.
Elizabeth stood by the tall window, a glass of champagne untouched in her hand, watching her own reflection more than the city. No one approached her. The invisible architect. A waiter offered a tray of champagne. She accepted with a quiet nod, her fingers steady despite the evening's sting. Jennifer's voice carried over the music, weaving another story. A man in a tuxedo glanced at Elizabeth, then gestured impatiently. Over Jennifer's laughter, the guest's voice cut through. "Fetch me a fresh glass. Now—"
I am a guest, not staff.
The guest scoffed and walked away. Elizabeth's jaw tightened as Jennifer threw her a pitying glance.
Let them underestimate. It makes the truth sharper when it cuts, and tonight, in this room that bears my fingerprints, the truth will cut deep.
Elizabeth drifted through the guests, a ghost in emerald, until Jennifer's voice snagged her attention. Near the marble staircase, Jennifer held court with two investors, her hands painting a glittering future.
The new tower will be iconic. My sister's firm handles the technical side, but the vision? That's all me.
Elizabeth stilled behind a pillar. The tower, her firm, her design, 18 months of work Jennifer had just erased.
Certification is a formality. My architect signs, and the funding releases. We break ground next month.
She's talking about my signature. Without it, there's no tower, no funding, no future.
She retreated a step, pulse hammering, champagne forgotten.
All her credit tonight rests on a document only I control.
The evening shifted. Every smile, every toast suddenly felt like a clock ticking toward a reckoning.
Let her take her bow. Soon the page turns, and the real architect will speak.
Elizabeth barely took 3 steps before Jennifer's hand clamped onto her forearm, nails pressing silk.
Don't embarrass me tonight, Elizabeth. You already look like you don't belong. Just smile and nod.
Elizabeth said nothing. Her grip on the champagne flute tightened, but she let Jennifer walk away. At the entrance, a silver-haired man in a tuxedo entered. William Grant, the developer. His eyes swept the room until they found her. Their eyes locked. William's face lit up, and he started toward her. Elizabeth gave one small, sharp shake of her head. He hesitated, then gave a subtle nod. Message received. He turned and melted into the crowd, but Jennifer had seen. She cut across the floor, eyes narrowed, jaw set.
What was that? Do you know William Grant?
He's just being polite. We've met at a few industry functions.
Jennifer studied her, then scoffed. "Stay out of my spotlight," she muttered, and walked away. Elizabeth exhaled, the secret still coiled tight, the lights dimmed, chandeliers fading to a warm glow. As the MC took the stage, Jennifer slid into a front-row seat, face expectant, already rehearsing her modest acceptance smile. Elizabeth found a chair at the edge of the room, half hidden in shadow, her champagne finally set aside. The MC announced a tribute to the building's creation, and the screen behind the stage flickered to life. Black and white footage showed cranes, steel rising, workers in hard hats. Elizabeth watched, her fingers tightening on the tablecloth. After 2 failed architects, the project nearly collapsed. Then one firm stepped in, led by a single visionary. The camera panned across the intricate atrium, glass canopy floating, cables no one else could make work. Jennifer's smile wavered, just for a moment. She knew the lie she'd told. Elizabeth watched the screen, and a faint, knowing curve touched her lips. She was invisible, but not for long. The screen went black, then white text, "Thank you to the visionary." No name. The room murmured, searching. As the lights rose, Jennifer leaned across the table, her smile sharp as cut glass.
See? They're praising my building. I told you this gala would finally give me the recognition I deserve.
Breathe. Don't react. She wants a scene. Don't give it to her.
A guest turned to Elizabeth, curiosity flickering across his face.
Oh, Elizabeth? She does a little drawing for builders. Nothing important.
Elizabeth's fingers stilled on the stem of her glass. The air in her lungs felt thin and cutting.
If I speak now, it will not be words. It will be a scream. Walk away.
She rose, smoothing her dress, and walked toward the restroom without a word. No one followed her. No one even noticed the emerald dress retreating.
This is the last time I let her bury me.
The restroom was quiet, marble and dim sconces. Elizabeth gripped the sink edge, staring into the mirror.
Little drawing. Nothing important. The words echo like hammers.
She thought of the years, the all-nighters, the structural feats, the award, still hanging in her office. She pulled out her phone. The screen lit up with an email from her firm. "Certification for the tower project awaits your final signature. Remember, only your approval can release the funding."
All her boasting. All her credit stealing. It rides on a document I alone control.
The thin smile that crossed her face was not kind. It was the calm of a woman who knew the end of the game.
Grandfather always said patience isn't silence, it's timing. Tonight the clock is mine.
She slipped the phone back, smoothed her hair, and walked out, no longer a guest, but the architect.
Let her enjoy the spotlight while it lasts. The next one will be mine.
Elizabeth moved through the crowd and took her seat at the back, her presence still invisible to every eye in the room. The MC's voice cut through the chatter. "Please welcome developer William Grant to the stage."
Thank you for being here. This building means a great deal to me, and to one person in particular. After 2 failed architects, this project was nearly a ghost. Then a firm answered our call, led by a visionary who saw what no one else could. Her design saved this project and won awards for it.
Jennifer's hands folded in her lap, but she leaned forward, her lips pressing into a practiced, modest smile.
She believes the applause is hers. It isn't.
The signature piece, the atrium you've all admired tonight, was entirely her vision.
Jennifer's eyes flickered to the investors, a small, satisfied nod escaping.
Almost time. Hold steady. The real architect is about to be named.
William paused, and the room fell silent. Every breath suspended, every eye on the stage.
The person responsible for the breathtaking atrium and the innovative green roof is...
Jennifer's smile stretched wide, her body leaning forward as if the name itself would lift her from her seat.
Finally, my moment. They'll all see what I've built with my connections, my vision.
In the back, Elizabeth's heart pounded, but her face remained smooth as the marble floor.
Let me tell you how she saved this project when others walked away. She saw what no one else could.
Jennifer's breath caught. The delay felt like a spotlight shifting, a promise trembling on the edge.
He's drawing it out. Good. Let the silence speak first.
Please join me in recognizing.
The name hung in the air, unspoken, a secret the entire room was about to learn.
None other than Elizabeth. Please stand.
A spotlight slashed through the dim, finding the woman in emerald at the back, her face suddenly blazing with light. Elizabeth rose slowly, her dress catching the light like liquid fire, her chin lifted, her smile small but absolute. Jennifer's face drained of color, Her mouth opened, then closed, then opened again, a fish gulping air in a world that had just inverted. The ballroom erupted. Hands clapped, heads turned, gasps cut through the music. The invisible woman was suddenly the only one in the room. A guest near the front stared, her earlier disdain crumbling into awe. She whispered something to her husband, and they both stood.
There, the truth has landed, and Jennifer is drowning in it.
Number. That's my building. She took it. She took everything.
The applause rolled on, but Elizabeth didn't bask. She simply waited, her silence heavier than any ovation.
Let them applaud. The real verdict on Jennifer's future hasn't even been read yet.
William beckoned Elizabeth forward, his hand outstretched in tribute.
Elizabeth, please. Show them the architect who refused to let this dream die.
She moved through the aisle, the applause swelling around her, every step now golden.
When two firms failed, she reimagined every beam, every cable. This atrium, it's her signature.
Guests stared with a respect that erased every earlier insult, every pitying glance. Jennifer shot up, her voice thin, but the applause swallowed her words like a stone.
She tried to reclaim the lie, but this room has already chosen the truth.
A line of guests formed to congratulate Elizabeth, leaving Jennifer abandoned at the front table. Jennifer sank into her chair, her smile now a cracked mask of humiliation.
My silence has ended. Now they'll see who I truly am.
The guests closed around Elizabeth like a tide, hands reaching, voices offering admiration that had been absent all evening.
Excuse me. I should be with her. She's my sister.
But the crowd shifted, and Jennifer found herself shouldered aside, her voice lost in the din.
They're all fawning over her. My building, my connections. She stole my moment.
She retreated to a shadowed corner, downing a full glass of champagne in one bitter swallow. William found a quiet moment with Elizabeth, stepping aside from the crowd, his voice low and earnest.
You deserved this long ago, Elizabeth. I am sorry I couldn't say something sooner.
It wasn't your place. But thank you, William, for speaking the truth when I couldn't.
William placed a hand on her shoulder, a silent promise of support, then stepped back into the crowd.
The real game is only starting. But now I have allies, and Jennifer doesn't even know what's waiting for her.
In the corner, Jennifer clutched her phone, dialing with trembling fingers, her voice hushed and urgent.
There's no issue, I promise. The revelation was unexpected, but my sister's firm is fully on board. Nothing has changed.
Across the room, Elizabeth's phone buzzed. She stepped aside and glanced at the screen. Certification review deadline tomorrow. Any concerns flagged? Reply urgently.
She doesn't know it yet, but her entire future sits in my inbox.
She slipped the phone back into her clutch, her expression smooth as the marble floor. Jennifer ended the call, her jaw set, a fresh wave of panic hidden behind a practiced smile.
I can still fix this. I just need Elizabeth to sign the papers. She won't dare refuse.
Elizabeth's gaze found her sister across the room, and a thin smile touched her lips.
Tomorrow, Jennifer will learn the difference between a little drawing and the power to stop a $100 million project.
Jennifer stormed through the crowd, champagne sloshing, cornering Elizabeth near a column.
Here she comes with more venom. Let her spit. My silence tonight has already won.
Don't think this changes anything, Elizabeth. My investors still trust me. Your little stunt tonight won't touch my deals.
Do they, Jennifer? Because they're walking this way right now, and they don't look like they're here for a toast.
The investors stopped before Jennifer, their expressions stern. One gestured toward a quiet alcove, his voice low but urgent.
Of course, gentlemen, let's step aside.
She shot Elizabeth a venomous look before following them, her heels clicking out a staccato of panic. Elizabeth inclined her head, a polite smile.
They're going to ask about certification, and I am the only one who can answer.
She turned away, giving them their privacy, but her spine was a steel wire. The reckoning was finally here. In the alcove, Jennifer's voice was honeyed and frantic, spinning a web of reassurances.
The timeline is perfectly on track. We're just waiting for the final stamps. Routine paperwork.
An investor's voice cut flat and hard. Certification. Is it done? Before Jennifer could answer, Elizabeth's shadow fell over the group. She had returned. One investor turned, his eyes sharp. As the architect of this building, what's your assessment of the tower project?
I pride myself on structural integrity. In fact, my firm is handling the certification for the new tower. I have some concerns about the foundation. Until those are resolved, I won't be signing off.
The investor's expressions changed instantly, alarm replacing boredom. Jennifer's mouth opened, but no sound came.
She's killing everything. She's going to destroy the deal and bury me.
The silence stretched, heavy with the weight of $100 million question, and only one woman held the answer. Jennifer forced a laugh, brittle and too loud, slicing through the heavy silence.
Oh, just a minor technicality. My sister is always so meticulous. She'll sort it out, I'm sure.
But the investors didn't smile. Their faces remained carved from stone, unreadable. The lead investor spoke, his voice cold as the marble floor. If the architect has concerns, we need to discuss this further. Financing depends on full certification. We cannot proceed with any uncertainty. Jennifer's smile shattered like thin glass, her hands twisting together until her knuckles whitened. Elizabeth's expression remained perfectly neutral, but her eyes glinted with a quiet, hungry satisfaction.
Let them marinate in that. The clock is ticking, and every second tightens the noose around her.
The investors exchanged tense glances, then turned back to Elizabeth, awaiting her next word.
I'll review the report in the morning, but I don't sign anything I can't stand behind.
She's going to kill the deal. I have to stop her before she buries me.
The investors exchanged tight nods, one murmuring they'd be in touch before retreating to make urgent calls.
You would really do this? Over a little joke?
You've mocked me for years. Tonight you tried to erase me in my own building. I am not doing anything, I am just doing my job.
Jennifer's hands fell limp at her sides, her mouth opening without sound.
She is serious. She'll destroy the tower, the funding, my whole future.
This isn't revenge, it's consequence.
Without another word, Elizabeth turned and walked back toward her table, her emerald dress sweeping behind like a quiet storm.
I have to stop this. I can't let her bury me.
Jennifer stood frozen, the noise of the gala crashing back around her, but all she could hear was the echo of her own shattered vanity. Elizabeth reached her table and lifted a fresh flute of champagne, the golden liquid catching the chandeliers. She rose slowly, her emerald dress shimmering, and raised her glass toward the far corner of the room.
Here is to the little job, the nothing important, the draftsman who built this room.
The room hushed, heads turned, following the line of her glass to the shadow where Jennifer slumped. Jennifer's face was a mask of pale devastation, her mouth slightly open, unable to look away.
This is what consequence looks like.
She took a small sip, then lowered the glass, her eyes never leaving her sister. The silence held, then broke into a scattered, nervous applause. The gala understood something irreparable had shifted. Jennifer's hands curled into fists, her entire empire reduced to a certification that would never come.
My building, my rules, and now my freedom.
William stepped through the thinning crowd, his face a map of genuine pride, and offered his hand.
You've earned this, Elizabeth. If there's anything I can do to support your firm, let me know.
A handful of guests approached, voices now sincere, no trace of earlier dismissal, only admiration.
Thank you. The work speaks for itself. I just finally let it.
Jennifer stumbled to a dark alcove, fumbling for her phone, her breathing ragged and shallow.
Someone. Anyone. There must be a way to salvage this.
She made a call, her voice cracking, pleading into the void. A board member, a partner, anyone. The call ended. Jennifer sank onto a gilded chair, the noise of the gala reduced to a distant hum. Nearby, an award plaque gleamed on the wall, the building's name etched beneath excellence in architecture.
She brought this on herself, but I refused to carry her bitterness. I am free now.
The gala was thinning, but Elizabeth lingered in the center of the ballroom, her eyes tracing the soaring lines of the atrium.
Every beam, every cable, I place them. No one can take that from me.
When she lowered her gaze, she found Jennifer sitting alone in the shadows, a crumpled figure in navy.
There is nothing left to say. No anger, just the weight of what she lost.
She inclined her head just once, a goodbye without forgiveness, but without hatred. Then she turned, her emerald dress sweeping as she walked toward the grand exit.
I came into this building as a nobody. I leave as its architect.
The doors opened, and the cool night air rushed in, carrying the scent of rain and the distant city hum.
Jennifer will face her own storm. I am no longer part of it.
And without a backward glance, she stepped into the dark, the building she designed standing like a silent witness behind her. Outside, the night was cool and clean. Elizabeth paused on the limestone steps, pulling her wrap closer. She looked up at the tower, its windows glowing like stacked amber. Her tower, her legacy now undeniable.
I gave it my best years. It gave me back the truth.
Her car waited at the curb, a valet holding the door. She descended the last step, the hem of her dress brushing the stone. Inside the car, the leather cool, the city lights began to stream past the window.
No more hiding. No more swallowing insults. I am exactly who I am.
The city blurred past, a river of gold and neon. She watched it without seeing, her mind still in the ballroom, but the tightness that had lived in her chest for years had finally loosened. She breathed deeply. Behind her, the Harrington Tower stood tall, a monument to a truth that could no longer be denied, and Elizabeth Grant drove into the night, not as a shadow, but as the architect of her own victory. Inside the ballroom, the chandeliers had dimmed to a tired gold, their glow barely reaching the floor. Waiters moved like ghosts, collecting wilted flower arrangements and crystal glasses still wet with champagne. Only one table remained untouched. A dark figure slumped in the chair like a forgotten prop. Jennifer sat with her head in her hands, fingers clawed into her hair, her navy gown a crumpled shadow. When she lifted her face, her mascara had carved dark tracks down her cheeks, her lipstick smeared into a distorted sneer.
They'll come back. Someone has to come back. This can't be how it ends.
But the vast hall answered with nothing, only the distant click of a door closing. Then silence across the room. An ornate mirror captured her reflection, and even her own image seemed to turn away. The last staffer flicked a switch, and the great chandelier went black, leaving only a sad amber glow from the wall sconces. And in that dying light, Jennifer remained a statue of consequence in the palace her sister built.